Hey guys, I'm Alan Ortega, and today I'm going to do one of my most requested videos ever. As y'all know, I do a lot of ukulele tutorials, a lot of ukulele songs, a lot of ukulele shenanigans, and on those videos, a lot of you comment, I want to play the uke, but I don't know where to get started. I don't know how to strum, I don't know how to read chord charts, I don't even know what this instrument is, and all of those are very valid questions, right? All of those are things that you wouldn't know unless somebody taught you. And so today, I'm going to do something that I actually think is pretty exciting. I'm going to teach you guys the ukulele basics, everything that you need to get started and go out and start jamming on this super cool instrument. So let's do it. Today I'm gonna teach you how to start with the uke. Yeah! It may come as a surprise to you, despite my messy room, I do like to be a little bit organized, so here's what we're gonna cover today. First, I'm gonna teach you how to physically strum a ukulele. Second, I'm going to teach you a little bit about the instrument and how to read chord charts and actually start playing chords. And third, I'm going to teach you 4 awesome chords that you can learn and start playing a lot of songs right away. So let's get into it, strumming the uke. You want to make sure that on your right hand that strums, you have, some nails, a little bit of nail, not too much nail, not a crazy like, my nail is curling all around, but a little bit of nail, because you're actually going to use your nails to strum down on these strings. So what I did there is I took my 4 fingers and sort of just placed them very lightly over the strings here on the neck of my uke so that it makes a muted sound, and then I practiced just getting every string in that strum. So I'm taking really these 3 fingers mostly, putting them here, and then just using my nail to strum down on the uke. Strum, 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 strum. And that's how we strum down. That's really the first strum that we want to learn. Now, a little bit more complicated, but equally as important is the strum up. And for that, we're actually going to use our thumb. So with these strings still muted, placing our fingers real lightly like I said, we're going to strum down with these 3 fingers, and then up with our thumb. Down with these 3, up with the thumb. Down with the fingers, up with the thumb. Down with the fingers, up with the thumb. And really for this, practice making sure that you're touching each string, that each string is making contact down and up, down and up, down and up. And practice that for a while until you really feel confident, you really sort of have the muscle memory. You're going down and up, down and up. A really good note for this is that you're not using your arm to strum. You're not doing this, right? So I'm not sitting here doing this. That's ridiculous, that's crazy. It's really just a wrist action, 100%. Down with the fingers, up with the thumb, get it down. And that's really not too bad. That's really what you need to know to strum a uke, and you just learned it in a second, so great. Now the question really is, what do I do with my other hand? What do I do with my fingers on the fretboard? And I guess the first answer to that question is you learn what a fretboard is, so let me teach you. As you can see, a uke has 4 strings here, and there are also all of these horizontal lines. Those basically create divisions between each fret. So this space up here is what we would consider the 1st fret, this space here is what we consider the 2nd fret, 3rd, 4th, 5th, etc., etc., etc. A good way to remember quickly where the frets are is that most instruments, not all but most, have little dots either on the side or on the fretboard that'll tell you where the 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 11th frets are. So once we understand that, how do we start playing chords? And I guess more importantly, what are chords? It can be really intimidating hearing all of these names. There's like A major, A minor, A sharp, A7, all kinds of terminology. All you really need to know is that each chord name represents a specific finger structure on the fretboard. And that's it. So whether it's A sharp minor or G major, whatever the chord is, it's just a name for a formation on the fretboard. And there's a lot of theory that goes into it, don't get me wrong, but we don't need to know any of that if we just want to get started playing the uke. So this is what a basic chord diagram is going to look like. And this is the chord diagram for C major. Anytime you just see a capital letter by itself, in terms of music, that's a major. So this is C major, and we can see that the chord diagram actually mimics what the uke looks like if we're just looking at it from this perspective, So if you're looking at the uke from this perspective, that's mirroring what a chord diagram is telling you to do. As you can see, a chord diagram has 4 vertical lines that represent the strings, and it has those frets just like our uke does. Really, the trick to reading the chord diagram is just reading the black dots and figuring out where those are telling you to put your fingers. So for instance, for the C, the black dot is telling us to put our finger on the 1st string, that is the string farthest away from us, on the 3rd fret, because we can count 1, 2, 3 frets of space, and there's the black dot on the 3rd fret. So let's try that. We take our finger, put it right there on the 1st string of the 3rd fret, just like the diagram tells us to. Looks like this, right? And we're going to strum it, and it sounds like this. One key to playing this with a crisp, full sound is that you have to put the tip of your finger onto that string. You don't want to put your finger flat across the string like this because you're not going to get a good sound, you're not going to be able to do as much. Now make sure not to put your finger too close to that fret divider or you're going to get something weird like that. You really want to put it, you know, kind of towards the bottom of that space, that is the fret, with the very tip of your finger, but not touching that fret divider, and that sounds like this. Nice and crisp. So let's try this out with the chord that's a little harder. Let's do our F major chord. Boom, here it is. Take a second, try to figure out how to play this. Okay, hopefully you got it, but let's get through it. So this is telling us, okay, we're gonna put our first finger on the first fret. Okay, that makes sense. On the second string in, okay, put it right there, boom. Now we're gonna take our second finger and we'll put it on the fourth string, the string closest to me, on this next fret down, second fret, boom, okay. That looks like this. How does it sound? Clean. If you got that, great. That's really all you need to know to read every chord in the history of ukuleles. Now some are obviously harder, some are gonna require you to stretch your fingers all over the place, but that's okay, because you'll get there as you keep practicing. So we've played 2 chords, C major and F major. Let's try 2 more. Let's try a minor chord, A minor. Now all you really need to know about majors and minors is that majors generally sound happier and brighter and minors sound sadder, more depressing, more, you know, intense. There's theory behind that, but again, doesn't matter for our purposes. So let's play that A minor. All we're doing is placing our finger on the 4th string, the string closest to us, on the 2nd fret. And boom, there it is. So let's try that, getting right on the tip of that finger, and here's how it sounds. And don't worry, I'll give you guys more time to practice these chords. We're just kind of going through them right now. But let's learn one more before we practice. That's going to be our hardest chord of the day, a little more of a challenge, the G7th chord. And don't get thrown out by the 7th, don't worry about it. It's a name for a finger formation. That's what it comes down to. For our G7th chord, let's take our first finger and we'll put it here on the 2nd string of the 1st fret. Take our second finger and put it here on the 3rd string of the 2nd fret, and our 3rd finger right here on the 1st string of the 2nd fret. So you end up with your fingers pushing down in the places that the black dots are in the chord chart. Hopefully you've gotten that by now, hopefully that makes sense. What we're gonna do now is actually put up all of the chords that we've learned. So C major, F major, A minor, G7th. We're gonna put those all up, and what I want you guys to do is practice playing them, and more importantly, practice switching in between them. I'll tell you now, the first challenge that you're gonna face as a ukulele player is switching in between the chords. So like, for me, it's pretty easy to go C, A minor, F, G7th, right? I can go quick, but you don't have that muscle memory yet, probably. So practice just going from one to the other, to the next, and getting a good sound after each switch. So playing it, nice crisp sound, switching, getting another crisp sound. That's really what you want to get to. So like I said, I'm going to put up the chords, practice for a minute, try switching in between, try getting all the formations down. Once you have it, press resume, and we'll wrap this whole thing up. So we've done it, you guys. We learned how to strum, we've learned how to read chord charts, and we've actually even learned a few chords that we can take and start jamming with and start making songs or playing songs, or any of those good things. There's a few things that I didn't cover today, like tabs, chunking/muting, bar chords, there's more. And I will make videos following up with those more advanced topics as time goes on, but for now, I think this is a great place to leave things. I think after watching this video, you guys can go into any of my tutorials and know what you're doing and be able to read the chords and sort of get playing, and I'm really excited about that. Thank you to YouTube. Quick shout out for this sweet camera bag that they hooked me up with yesterday at YouTube Space. I'm going to be filming a lot of cool stuff in the studio that is YouTube Space. Hopefully some of those videos will be rolling out soon, depending on when the studio is available. But definitely expect some cool things, expect some more tutorials. Comment below, let me know what you want me to do next. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you all very soon.